Hello everyone and welcome back to this episode of the Doctor Why podcast. This is a Doctor Who after show where me and Chris review the episode of Doctor Who. This episode is called Village of the Angels, and you know what? I think Chibnall has done it again. He's made a good episode. Well, Chibnall didn't only write this, it was Chibnall and Maxine Alderson. So they both wrote the episode together. But I like this episode quite a bit, but we'll get into this. Again, I have the Angry Pacifist, also known as Chris, here with me.
Okay.
And yeah, it's like it's been every week. We're gonna talk about the episode, so let's get into it. So let's start.
I didn't think it was as good as you think it was.
Okay.
It was pretty good, but it wasn't better than last week.
Yeah, this is where we differ. And that's good. Two different opinions on the podcast. That's nice. It's good to hear. You know, it's what you want. Is we can get an array of opinions. That's why we have not just me and not just you. You know. So we're gonna start by getting into what happened. So the first thing that we see in the episode is you're looking for your pen.
My phone.
Oh, your phone.
My notes.
Oh, your notes.
Oh, there it is.
So we go to the episode. We start with it in this grungy basement, and you see like these brain readings being on the screen, and then you see
Was it a lie detector test?
It was a lie detector test. Yeah. We see this guy asking some person in the chair, what's the date? And they say November 21st. Nothing happens in the lie detector. That's right. Then we see him ask, okay, what's the year? 1967. And the lie detector goes crazy. And I'm like, okay, so maybe it's not 1967. Then we realize that this is actually Claire from the first episode. He asks her what her name is, and she says, my name is Claire Brown. So this is Claire from the first episode, that random woman that we saw who got taken by the Weeping Angels. It's later revealed that Claire, the reading goes off is not because it's not 1967, it's because Claire doesn't think that she's in 1967.
And she thinks she's in it. So she knows that she's in it, but she doesn't quite believe it still. Yeah,
so she doesn't really trust it. And then Claire just has literally a seizure, and the doctor's just going, not the doctor, but the professor. Sorry, his name is Professor Jericho. The professor just starts looking at Claire having a literal seizure, going, and her body is going crazy. Her eyes have people. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? She's having a seizure. Help her. What's going on? She's gonna have a stroke, and you're just gonna let it happen. What's going on? This dude, he's just sitting there. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna let her die. It's all for the sake of research.
It's fine, you know.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, Claire literally has a seizure, and the professor just watches. She gets taken over, and someone starts speaking for her, taking over her body. And then it declares that the angel has the TARDIS. And that's the end of the cold open. Wasn't the strongest cold open, but it did set the tone, and I really liked it.
Did its job.
So we go into the intro. And then we cut back to the angel controlling the TARDIS. The angel is zapping around the place, moving bits and bobs of the TARDIS. How does this angel know how to control the TARDIS? We'll find that out later, because there's a legitimate reason why the angel knows how to control the TARDIS. It makes sense. But yeah, zipping around, pew, 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 pew. So starts moving stuff. The Doctor, Yaz, and Dan are at the door of the TARDIS going, just keep looking at it. Keep looking at it. I don't know, just keep looking at it. Keep looking at it. And they're like, Doctor, my eyes are getting dry. Keep looking at it, Dan. Just keep looking at it. What's the point in being alive?
What's the point of being alive if not to see others die?
What's the point in being alive? Just pans the back of the fucking Weeping Angel. Ding.
I'll take a copy of them for tonight.
I love the YTPs of Dan. I love them so much.
You know, John Bishop's found them.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like posting them on Twitter.
That's good. That's good. I'm happy he likes them. I'm happy he likes them because they're so funny. They're so funny.
Nobody deserves Suit more than me.
I actually really like John Bishop, and I hope that like, because you know how you can have like transitional companions.
Yeah.
I hope like T. Davis sees that John Bishop's character is kind of cool and goes, I want him. Because I like John Bishop's character.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Russell would write him quite well. Because if you look at Donna, like it's like Kathleen Tate was a comedian before she was an actor, like with John Bishop. So he knows how to work with someone like that, and it's a similar kind of character, but still different enough.
Like I honestly like I don't hate Yaz, but I think Yaz's time is done. I don't think there's any I don't think you can redeem Yaz at this point. They just fell flat with Yaz. Yaz could have been so much more. But I feel like Dan is really the next. Like Dan could. I love Dan.
maybe even Bang and Vinda.
Vinda maybe.
His name be pretty good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe. You know, yeah. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Bell and Vinda.
Or they could have a spin-off show. They'd be pretty good.
That could be cool. They could have their own version of like a Sarah Jane Adventures.
I was thinking more Torchwood, but yeah.
Nah, they could have like a little child, make it child oriented, you know?
Oh yeah, because they have a child. Yeah.
Yeah, have it like child oriented. That'll be pretty cool. It could be like a show about like parent. Well, not like it could be like an allegory for like parenting. They can have like parental issues while fighting aliens. That could be cool. Yeah, BBC.
You're literally just turning your idea about Martha and Mickey into Linda and Belle.
literally. But yeah, they're at the door, and the doctor's like, "I need to do something," and this is kind of worrisome because the TARDIS is in flow. It's traveling through space. Yeah. So the doctor goes to these two panels in the side of the doors and gets these two big wires out. She connects them together, and she says specifically a line that.
I had the right.
Oh.
you know what I mean. Do I have the right? If I put these two strands together, the targets are finished.
Jesus. The doctor takes out the wires and the TARDIS and explains them as 2 points that should never mix. That reminded me of that one Matt Smith line describing the crack in time, the 2 points in time that never should have touched, pressed together. So I was like, oh. Okay, that sounded very much like a callback, and I don't know why. And I still don't know why, because I don't think it was purposeful. I don't think it was a purposeful callback. There was
a lot of like, I have like this series feels very Stephen Moffat in places.
It does.
Like later in the episode when they're in the house, I kept getting reminded of Hyde. You know the episode with the ghosts, and they're in like a similar sort of house.
Yeah, it's because Moffat is friends with both Chibnall and Russell, so maybe it's like maybe he's like, hey, what if you do this idea, Chibnall? And Chibnall goes, that's pretty good. So it's like,
yeah, Stephen's had one idea and he's just used it like constantly.
I think you have to ask Moffat to use the Weeping Angels.
He did, and then he made like a video. Like Stephen made a video on YouTube and basically saying like, oh, it was brilliant working with Chibnall, bringing back the Weeping Angels, and then he made a joke out of it.
Oh, because wasn't he like the one who revealed that Weeping Angels are coming back?
Yeah, actually, I think it was him. Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh shit, sorry, Doctor Who fans, I made a mistake." But yeah, the Doctor puts these points together and connecting them puts the TARDIS basically into factory settings. It kind of like rebooted the TARDIS. So it caused the TARDIS to go directory settings and land wherever it was. The Doctor's like, I don't know if this means it's where the Weeping Angels were going to take us, or if it's just some random place in the universe. But like always in Doctor Who, when it lands in a random place in the universe, it's Earth. Yeah. So they land in Earth at 1967.
Well, to be fair, what's left of the universe at this point?
That is true. The flux has taken a lot of it. But yeah, they land in 1967, and there's a couple calling into the police box, like the phone bit, because there are police boxes in this time, so it makes sense that they're using a police box like it should be used. And if you don't know how a police box was used, there were police boxes sit around white people will be able to call the police via, because like the police wouldn't have like a phone number. Like nowadays, you would call like 999 or 911.
And people wouldn't have mobile phones, so they'd have to go to like a phone box to call them.
Yeah,
and
so
they had police police boxes.
You can go to a police box, you can call them, and sometimes there are officers in the police boxes.
Yeah, and sometimes if you if you've like caught someone, if someone's like committing a crime and you catch them, you take them to the box and you lock them inside, and then wait for a police officer to come.
So that's what police.
Bring them back. I just love to lock you in a box for 20 minutes.
You burgled me, you're going to stay in the police box. But yeah, they're calling the police box like it's being used. And I was like, that's a nice detail. The doctor comes out, so does Yaz and so does Dan, and her screwdriver starts to heat up because it's reading something. And the doctor's like, oh shit, well, I got to follow this. Dan, Yaz, take care of this couple. The couple revealed to Yan and Dan that they're looking for their missing child called Peggy. Peggy went missing, and they're just trying to find Peggy. They're calling the police to help them find Peggy. Yaz says a specific line when they ask about like the doctor just leaving. Yaz says the group is a flat structure, and that's kind of a deep line because it's the same line that the doctor says in
Village which is mostly in all this other episodes.
Which makes sense why it was brought back. But that's the line that the doctor said there. And like that line is probably one of the other moments I feel like the Doctor, like Jodie was probably the closest to being the Doctor, a character wise.
And it made perfect sense within context because the couple were talking to Dan, thinking, obviously he's a man, he knows what he's doing, he's in charge, and obviously he's the one with the least experience. So Yaz is trying to like get the attention away from him.
So that was really good. Flat group structure. I was like, that's a deep line because it must hurt Yaz as a character to say that because Yaz just wants attention from you, Doctor. Why are you being such an asshole to Yaz? Come on now. Then it cuts to the Doctor arriving at the workplace of Professor Jericho, and she uses the psychic paper to bypass her trespassing on his property.
That was good. I like seeing it every so often.
Yeah, I was like, I like. Honestly, it was one of the one complaints I had from the last series. Was like, the Doctor spends so much time explaining who she is, and she's like, "I'm blah blah blah." Just take out your psychic paper. Just that's me. Cool. Like that's that. So when they did it now, I was like, good. They skipped this whole long boring bit that would have been there where you explain, "Oh, I'm actually a wandering psychopath." Like, okay. But like, yeah, so the Doctor takes out the psychic paper to bypass the reason, to be the reason why she's trespassing on there. It's basically she is like sent. I forgot what they specifically said, but she is sent from like a doctoring school or something, or like a hospital. She's sent, and then it's revealed that the screwdriver that the Doctor, the screwdriver wasn't alerting the Doctor to Professor Jericho or his equipment or his brain scanning stuff. It was alerting the Doctor to Claire, and the Doctor's like, "Oh shit, Claire, we've met before. Why are you here, Claire?" Claire's like, "Bro, my head hurts. My head hurts. Can we not?" And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. That was really well done. I was quite surprised, like how well that all made sense by the end.
Yeah,
because I was thinking it was going to completely. Chibnall was just going to destroy it.
Yeah, we were both like, the Claire stuff is going to make no sense, but it.
Yeah, it did. It actually did.
And it made sense. Where is it? The Doctor informs Claire. The Doctor is informed by Professor Jericho that Claire draws her fears, and her fears are images of weeping angels. The Doctor rips up these pieces of paper and says she's protecting everyone because the image of an angel is an angel. Then we cut to Claire in a mirror. She sees herself with angel wings, and she's like, I'm scared. It's not just. I thought it was just a stylistic thing, like, oh, she sees herself as the enemy. I thought it was like, oh, that's like, it's like symbolism, but no, we'll get back to that later. It's literal. it's literal. Then it cuts a little scene where the angel steals some random guy, and this woman and revealed to be, what's her name, Lady something, Miss something, Miss, where the fuck is my note? Miss Hayward. Oh, there we go.
Oh, Miss Hayward, yeah.
Miss Hayward was watching this guy just get taken by the angels, and she does nothing about it. Pretty weird.
Well, ooh.
Ooh.
Is she a good person?
Oh, will we find out? We will. We don't know. So yeah, it's yeah. She watches that happen. At this moment, I'm like not super into it. The episode, I'm not like this is amazing, but I'm like it's decent.
Yeah.
It's not as good as as last episode, but I'm like I'm liking.
This could be good.
Yeah, I'm liking where this is going. Like I'm not bored, which is
this is interesting. This is a cool mystery.
Yeah, it's the first step is not making me bored, and I wasn't bored.
Yeah.
Like I hadn't. Yeah. Then it cuts back to Dan and Yaz walking with a couple. Well, no, sorry, not with a couple. With the couple, Peggy's parents.
Yeah, they're couple.
Trying to get some bit more information about what happened to who Peggy is, so on and so forth. And then the couple kind of like, you know what, we're gonna go this way and try to find Peggy. You know, leaving Yaz and Dan by themselves. Then Dan sees in the distance what he describes as a scarecrow, which is really cool because Binkus talked about this before recording this. This episode has very much a feel of. Yeah, you know, you go on.
It feels like Human Nature, Family of God.
Yeah, in terms of this tone and the village, so
I was actually thinking at one point it might be that same village. Like
it might be.
Yeah, I mean, well, clearly not. They didn't talk about a school, so.
Yeah, they didn't talk about some guy called the Doc. Imagine if Jodie's also goes, I've been here before. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But like when they go back before, I went like initially when they were like, oh, there's someone around. I thought, oh, is this World War One? Like, has anyone disappeared for like the war and like they were doing different things? And then,
well, no, it's revealed why.
So it'd only be like a year after Human Nature.
So yeah, it has a feeling of those episodes. So the callback of like, is that a scarecrow? It was nice. I like that. So it's like Dan's like, is that a scarecrow in the distance? They look away as they look at each other like, nah. Then they look back and it's Whoopi Angel that zipped towards them.
Right there.
It's like, oh my god.
Right there.
It's an angel. Daz and Yan try to avoid it. They try to back slowly, but the angel gets closer when they blink. They have a flashlight on it. They're like, well, at least we can see it, so we're not gonna close our eyes, Dan. No, we're not gonna close our eyes, Yaz. The light goes off. The torch goes off. Oh no. What's going to happen? Then Yaz says, well, at least we got the moon. The clouds cover the moon. Oh my god. Dan starts hitting his torch. Come on, torch. Turn on. But just before the torch turns on, they blink. They've been caught. And I'm sitting there going, yo, they just caught the companions. Okay. They just straight, like, I was expecting Chibnall to be like, the doctor comes out of nowhere going, no, you don't. It's like, oh.
we need to come back to that because I realised that was actually a mistake.
How so?
Well, later on, they're telling the couple not to touch the angel again because then they'll die because they've touched it twice. But of course, Yaz and Dan have already been touched by the angel at the very start, and then now they're touched again. Like they should be dead because they got touched by the angel twice.
Wait, when did they get touched the first time?
In the TARDIS. Because the angel sent them to the village. That's what they said.
No. The angels took control of the TARDIS and sent them to the village.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so they haven't been touched yet. That sounds wrong.
He really does. Like I was writing it down earlier, thinking, this is really bad. I mean, what is this? You know, what's the flux? Touching?
The fluxing angels.
What the hell is going on?
Flux, touch. Come on, Chibnall. Come on, just say the words, bro.
It's 12A anyway, you can say it once.
They look away and is this towards them? Yeah, so the angels capture them because the moon got covered by the clouds and they couldn't see the angel. Then we cut to Belle. traveling through space. It's got
I
Belle's.
wasn't expecting to see her again.
I wasn't expecting to see her in this episode. I was expecting like I don't know the what's it called, the specials. The specials. I was.
Yeah, oh yeah, maybe the specials.
Like I thought it was just spelled up. No, I think this is there's two storylines: the Belle and Vinda storyline and this stuff. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, Bella's traveling through space, and her voiceover was basically explaining that the places that they've been in their relationship, they've been to a place that is called Pisano. Pisano? Yeah, Pisano. No, yeah, Puanzo. No, Puanzo. That's it.
Right, yeah.
They've been to this place. So that's like a place that they both have a memory of, which gives a reason for Vinda to go there, because Vinda knows that's a memory they have together, you know? So it makes sense when, as we're going to say later on, Vinda gets closer to Belle, let's say, to finding Belle. So yeah, they go to Pisano. She goes to Pisano because that's a place where her and Vinda were. And she lands the Lupari ship that she's been flying in. Then, out of nowhere, it's Neil from the In-Betweeners.
I was expecting him to make like an In-Betweeners reference, like, you know, this place is cursed, or something like that. You remember, like, it might be like Harry Potter or the Bible. You remember that?
Harry Potter or the Bible. This shows the actor's acting range, because in this he's completely different to Neil.
He's completely different. Yeah.
Like whereas we had
with Jay before.
Yeah, Jay before.
He felt like Jay when he's being honest about himself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
But this just felt like he was being, like, honestly, it was just a completely different character. So like
it was almost like he was playing himself.
Yeah, like
as an alien.
After I watched the first episode, no, not the first episode, but after I watched the first scene, I was like, oh my god, it's just Neil. And I was like, wait, no, this isn't Neil. And then I just didn't think of him as Neil anymore. I was like, oh, okay, this is Namka Ostaparis Poe. That's his full name.
Oh yeah.
That's how he introduces himself to Belle, as Namka Ostaparis Poe. Belle asks if he's seen Vinda. He says no. Explaining the fact that Vinda may be at the location where they are going to go on a ship that takes them off this island, right? So that takes them off this planet. There's this like passage that comes that picks up some people, and they go to a new world, basically. You know, it's like when the skies are made of diamonds. You know,
yeah.
It's like they're taking you to a new world, and I say that specific quote for a specific reason, because no, they're not taking him to a new world. Yeah, and they're not taking him to a new world. It's
yeah.
no.
Yeah, isn't the master in the next episode?
What?
Sorry. I think I'm going off one of the leaks now, but I'm pretty sure the master's in the next episode.
Who knows? I have no idea. I've not been.
It'd be great to see him again.
I like Sacha Dhawan a lot. I think he's got very good, like, he's a very good crazy doctor, you know. Not doctor, sorry, master.
Yeah.
whereas you had like Michelle Gomez, who was very much like trickster, like, you know, like I'm a bit like, you don't know if I'm gonna punch you in the like you walk into a room with Michelle Gomez's master, and you're like, I don't know if she's gonna rob me by the end of this, you know.
Oh yeah.
you walk into to a room with Sacha Dhawan's doctor. No, sorry, Sacha Dhawan's master, just, and like, you know that he's gonna kill you by the end of it.
Yeah.
And you know, if you walk into the room with John Sims' master, you're gonna end up being his companion by the end of it. Like,
yeah,
like that. Those are the three like different ways.
I mean, he's easily the best one, John Sim.
Like, yeah, because he's basically the basis.
He's done everything. He's done every kind of master there can be, because he's done the weird silly one, the
crazy one,
born again crazy one, and then the like serious one.
Yeah, he's got the range. Is why he's a good actor. But yeah, what's his name? Namka Ostaparis Poe. I'm just gonna call him Namka from now on.
Just call him Neil.
Explains that Vinda may be in that area, so let's go there and see if he's there. And Belle says, "Okay, let's go." When we cut back to the doctor in the professor's house, there is smashed glass everywhere. Jericho is mad and tries to exit, to kind of see, to find the ruffian who broke my windows. Like, he exits, he opens the doors, and oh my god, it's an array of weeping angels, just as far as the eye can see. He's like, how did these angels get, like, how did these statues get here? And the doctor goes, close that fucking door and lock it. He's like, what do you mean? There's nothing here. He turns away and looks at the doctor, looks back, the angels zipped in front of him. He's like, oh my god. Oh lord. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna close the door. He closed the door.
I'm not blinking.
I like that scene. He's a cool actor as well. I like it.
He is a good actor.
I like Professor Jericho. Professor Jericho's cool. But yeah, he closes the door and the doctor sonic screwdrivers it. They all go. The doctor explains that you got to close all the doors. So they go and close all the doors. Close all of them. Sonic screwdriver all of them. Beep 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 beep. Close all of them. The outside is full of angels. The doctor says, "Hey, Jericho, if there's a back door, you gotta go close the fucking back door." So Jericho goes and closes the back door. He goes there and he sees an angel out there. He backs away from the angel and the back door. He's like, "Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna blink. I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna do as the doctor said." And he escapes, not being taken by the angel. Then we cut back to Claire, who's just coming down the stairs. Claire and the doctor are talking. Claire informs the doctor that voices in her head told her that they would meet. She would see a TARDIS, and then it happened. She got these premonitions. She got these premonitions. She was told that she would see a this blue box. She told that she would be informed on how they would meet, and then she was captured by the angels. That's specifically the scene where the angels and the doctor and the ads are all outside in the first episode. So she was captured by an angel and sent back to 1967, where she's been there for 2 years. So this is why in the beginning of this episode she doesn't really fully believe she's in 1967, because like she doesn't fully believe she's in 1967 because she's only been there for 2 years, right? That's why she doesn't believe she's in this time. That's the reasoning behind this. And it also makes sense as to why in that first episode of this series it was very weird wording coming from her, like, we haven't met but we're going to meet in the past. So if you haven't met already before, how would you, like, what? Because she was sent there and the angel told her she was going to meet in the past. Christian muted.
But we didn't know quite how.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she went back in time after she met the doctor in the present. So how would she know? But it makes sense. It
also felt how she would know because of these premonitions. So she informs the doctor that she googled the village after her first premonition, and it was explained that like everyone disappeared. The doctor's like, okay, don't worry, that won't happen again. And she goes, no, doctor, it's happened now.
It hasn't happened yet. Yeah,
it's happening today, and also it happened in 1901. And the doctor's like, huh? The angel starts to break in the window before the doctor can really think of it now. The doctor sets up this like trap thing, which later on to reveal to be a CCTV camera, but she sets up this like trap thing. As she runs away, Claire rubs her eyes and dust comes out, just like what happened with Amy.
I was just thinking, like, come on, this is just Time of Angels at this point. Like, this is just Time of Angels.
So yeah, she rubs her eyes, dust comes out, and she sets her the dust on the back of this chair, and she flings it away. I was like, oh, does this mean that at some point Claire stared into the eyes of an angel, and an angel's in her mind? Well, I was only half right here, but which half was correct? We'll see later on. We cut back, and it's with Dan and Yaz, and they've been transported back in time. They are in an empty village, the same village, in 1901. They go into this house, and they find a child. It's a missing child called Peggy. Peggy explains that everyone is gone, as they're all angels now. I was like, oh, okay, they're all angels. What does that mean? I'm guessing it means that they were sent back in time, and they were also sent back in time again, because later on it was revealed if you're sent back in time twice by an angel, you just die. So that's what I'm guessing. They were sent back in time again, so they're dead. Peggy explains that Peggy informs that that they shouldn't leave the village, and they ask why, because they realize at the end of the village, literally the world stops. It's just space.
I wrote down at this point what I thought the episode should have been called: "The Village at the End of the World."
That's not bad.
Hmm.
But you want people to realize that there's weeping angels here, so that's why I said the Village of Angels.
And
you gotta have if someone wasn't watching, what's the next episode? And you said the Village at the End of Time, or the Village at the End of the World, right? Or the Village at the End of Space. People are like, oh, okay. But if you said the Village of Angels, wait, do you mean weeping angels? Oh my god! It's like that's probably why they named it that. Like it's also why it's like Rise of Centaurans or whatever, right? It's why the fucking Doctor Who names are always fucking spoilers. It's like like T. Davis era as well. The End of Time. Well, thanks. The End of Time Part 1. Oh, whoa, it's only one part. Oh. Okay. Oh. It's like the Pompeii.
Dalek is the best example. That was when the Daleks are being brought back. Like, why call it the Metaltron if you've already told us what is in the episode?
We're gonna bring back Daleks. Let's just call the episode Dalek. It's like if they bring back an old it's like Zygon Invasion. Right? We'll bring it back to Zygon Invasion. It's like, okay, thank you.
Like they used to do it really well in Classic Who. Like in Classic Who, there was a story called Invasion of the Dinosaurs, but part 1 was just called Invasion.
Oh.
So like you don't know until the cliffhanger.
Ooh, so bad. That's not bad. So yeah. Where was I? They're back in this empty village. Peggy informs that they shouldn't leave the village because in the village it just stops. The world stops. They're in empty space, and the angel inside Peggy's head explained it as quantum extraction. So this is the first time we hear the word quantum extraction. I'm gonna hear it quite a lot more through this episode.
We've already heard quantum already, though. You already heard quantum beings and quantum energy. Yeah,
because the weeping angels are quantum beings. They feed on quantum energy from sending people back into time, and them not having the life they should have. So they basically feed off what's the word? Not plot points. Is what is it? Paradoxes. They feed off mini paradoxes. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, excuse me. I think I went for plot points, fixed points, and I went paradoxes. I was like, okay, I got that right eventually. The angels are quantum beings, and they feed off quantum energy. So the angels are feeding off the fact that the village basically never existed, and the people in the village never existed. So then we cut back to Peggy's parents walking around looking for her. It's night time. They stop because they also see the end of the world, the end of the village. Yeah. And there's a cool bit of directing, just a bit of directing where this also comes back later on in the episode. But when Yaz, Dan, and Peggy see the end of the world, it's on the right hand side of the screen. When Peggy's parents see the end of the world, it's on the left hand side of the screen. And that's actually a pretty nice detail because later on it's revealed that like they're both like portals to each other in different time. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. that's pretty smart. But yeah, they see this and like, you know what? We're gonna turn around. Guess who's behind Peggy's parents? A weeping angel. So, weeping angel's behind Peggy's parents.
I love what the guy did in this scene. So it was like, I'm gonna pick this up and take this back to the village. No, it's too heavy. Well, someone brought it here, obviously, and you just grabbed it.
It's not dumb. Like in this, like you can see how he made that logical conclusion.
Yeah, but it sounds so dumb to us.
Because we're like, it's a weeping angel, but it makes I like.
What are you doing?
So he's like, yeah, someone's trying to prank us. They brought the statue here, and it's like trying to scare us. And it's like, I'm gonna take it back to the village. The Peggy's mother's like, you're an idiot. You can't lift that. And as you said, he goes, someone brought it here, so I'm gonna take it back. It's the logical conclusion. So he's going out there to pick up this weeping angel. And he gets teleported with a little scream. Ah! Peggy's mother goes, okay.
What do I do now? Turns around.
Angel's in front of her. Oh no. Oh, brother George, which is his name. George, what happened to George? And then she blinks and she's teleported back in time.
Yeah.
The angel turns around and then we see again. It's just this woman. This random lady. Mrs. Hayward. She's just watching that happen. Who is she? Weird. Then we cut to the doctor looking at a TV. She turned on and she turned a phone into the CCTV camera, the phone that was placed earlier on. Then it cuts to the drawing of the angel that the doctor ripped up and put in the fireplace earlier on, forming itself back together. It's like putting itself back together.
That was really cool.
That was really cool. And as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, I know what's gonna happen here. Yeah. Oh, brother. The image of an angel is an angel.
Yeah. I love how they throw it in the fire and it just like
we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit. Yeah. We'll get to that in a bit. That's good. Sorry. She puts it together. It forms together. The angels like they're looking for the angel for the TV. That's the CCTV camera. Like, why are the angels like not coming through the screen? Because the image of an angel is an angel. You know. Not just like they could just come through the screen. I don't know why they're not doing it, but they could. It reveals that the image that was drawn, the drawing that was formed back together, it puts itself back together, becomes an angel. No, to scrunch up the piece of paper, which kind of deletes the angel image, which is kind of cool. Because the folded picture of an angel isn't an angel. So she throws it into the fireplace and she goes and burns it. And I'm instantly like, you should have done that from the beginning. Why didn't you burn it?
Yeah.
Well, the episode tells us why she didn't burn it.
Yeah.
Because as soon as she burns it, the image of the angel comes back out. But it's on fire. Yeah. It's on fire. And it's so like, cool.
What the hell are they going to do now?
I was like, that's so fucking cool.
That was brilliant.
It was really good. That was really good. The doctor lets out the fire and obviously because the image is burned and on the paper there is no angel, so the angel is defeated. Claire then reveals to the doctor that she is an angel. But it comes and goes. They figured out that since Claire had that first premonition, the angel or the image of an angel rooted itself in her brain, which caused her to become an angel, which is similar to what happened to Amy. Yeah, rubbing the eyes, similar to what happened to Amy.
That's just sweet.
It's similar to what happened to Amy. Amy looked into the eyes of the angel, and the angel rooted itself in her mind. That's what happened, and that's a similar thing happened to Claire. So yeah, that's why I was like, I'm 50% right. She didn't look into the eyes of the angel, but she does have an angel in her mind. The doctor says, you know what, Claire, I want to talk to the angel, so I want to connect to your mind. Which again, I like how they bring back the idea that the doctor has this like psychic power, because one thing that they didn't really do it a lot in Matt's era is Matt having this psychic power. Like Moffat really didn't use this, whereas T. Davis pretty much added it into the thing. That's how he like put Donna to sleep and stuff like that. So the fact that like they have this psychic link, the doctor has this like psychic power, they bring it back, and I'm like, I like that. I think it's a cool bit.
It was in Matt's era at one point. It was in Nightmare and Silver when he's talking to the cyber controller.
Yeah,
the cyber planner. Sorry.
Yeah, but it wasn't as much like, because it was more like
it wasn't as obvious that was what he was doing. Because
he was connecting to like the cyber system, whereas like this is like their mind melting here.
Yeah.
So yeah, the doctor starts to connect to it. So they cut to a beach. It's all blue. It's like black and white, but instead of the black being black, it's a little dark blue.
I literally wrote blue filter. Ooh. I really didn't like it. It was just too off. It was just like
it's like they color graded it in the end, but they didn't like remove the color grade from the black and white scenes. So it's just a little bit blue on the black and white scenes. So yeah, we cut to the beach, and it's the mind of Claire. And it's revealed that the angel who controlled the TARDIS at the beginning of the episode is Claire's angel. It's in her mind. The angel asked the doctor for help. This is confusing. The angel asked for help. The angel went into Claire's mind to hide from other angels. Those are the ones that got Claire in the first episode. It wasn't this angel that got Claire in the first episode. It was the angels that are chasing after the Doctor now, Claire now, and that angel right now. That's the one that sent Claire back in the first episode. I can't scroll down my notes because my mouse is dead. Okay, now I can. From the other angels, those are angels that Claire got in the first episode, chasing after in the past. It's revealed that Claire's angel is being hunted down by a Weeping Angel extraction squad. I was like, okay, what the fuck does that mean? There's like ranks the Weeping Angels, but it's like, no, a Weeping Angels extraction squad sent by the Division. And I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, that's actually kind of smart. I actually like, okay, it's a reveal. I like that. I've been saying earlier on, this series needs a bit more reveals happening every episode. Like every episode should give us some more information on a mystery, and it did. It made me go, okay, if the Division's so strong they can just control a group or squadron of Weeping Angels, who the fuck are they? And I like that a lot. So yeah, the idea is that they hired Weeping Angels because Weeping Angels have the power to like send people back into a point in time and control that. And like that's a good way of controlling people we capture for the Division. So we're gonna have an extraction squad of Weeping Angels. That's smart. So yeah, the Weeping Angels are sent by the Division to come after this angel that's in Claire's mind. But we don't know why so far. Why are they coming after him? Well, we'll find out later. But we come back to Bell with Namaka.
With Neil.
They are waiting for the transportation, but it's revealed that the transportation will be this lordly figure who will come down and tell them, oh, we're going to take you away. And we reveal that this lordly figure is Azure.
Yeah. Like at first I was thinking of what was it, the Night Dragon from Sarah Jane Adventures. Do you remember? The episode Curse of Kraganga where he's on the streets and then there's like this sort of these rumors of this night dragon who goes around in the night taking people and they just disappear. And then at the end of the episode, it turns out it's just like this van that takes people into Europe illegally, like illegal immigrants, and they get to start a new life somewhere else.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay. So that was what I was thinking of. I thought, they're going to take them somewhere else, and it's going to be like a legal immigrant type thing.
But it's not. The transportation that comes down is not a ship. It's not a teleportation point. It's a passenger. So this we need to explain this because last episode we talked about how one of the scenes in last episode we just didn't listen to because we were just tapped out of that episode. Tapped out of that scene. And it's a scene where it's the Doctor.
Just that one scene.
Yeah, it's a scene where the Doctor's talking to Azure and Swarm, and it's a mixture of the Doctor and the Roof Doctor, and they're doing this whole thing. We were like, we didn't listen to it because they're just talking. But I rewatched the episode, and it's revealed, and that's the episode where they revealed what the fuck a passenger is and what they do. So it's kind of fucked that we didn't listen to that because that's a pretty important part of this episode. Yeah, yikes on us. But I rewatched it, so I understand and I explained to Chris before the episode started. So the passengers are these people. It's like a vessel. It's like an empty shell of a body, and they're able to fill that body with the souls and lives of people. So when Azure and Swarm were destroying those multiple passengers, they were killing billions of people by just wiping out that passenger. That's why the Doctor got mad. So the idea is that they come down to like the passenger is this godly figure. You come into them and we're going to take you to heaven, to the next world. Well, as
and Rinder told Bell because he heard it from the Doctor.
Yeah, Vinder.
This is how she knows.
Vinder told Bell. Bell knows what a passenger is. So Bell's like, oh,
yeah,
passenger. Okay, let's not deal with that. I've heard of this before.
No, this is not right.
So Bell's like, come on, Neil. Come on,
come on, Neil. Let's go.
Let's go, Neil. We're gonna
I don't want to go.
And Neil's about to regenerate. I don't want to go. But Neil's like, I'm not leaving. This is my only chance to escape this hellhole, to have a new life. And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up and get down. So then the passenger lets out this like energy from itself, and it captures the souls of all these people. Luckily, it didn't catch the souls of Belle or Neil.
They just about got away.
Yeah, and then Aja's like, well, you can come back next time. And then
let everyone know that this is completely safe.
Yeah, let everyone know this is safe. You can come back next time. Belle and Neil start arguing because Neil's like, you ruined my chance to get a new life, so I'm gonna leave you behind. And Belle's like,
yeah,
well, I can't help you. So Belle also leaves. So yeah, I like how there wasn't I didn't like how they didn't get out of the field. They got underneath the field, and I thought that was kind of dumb. Like if it was person sized, if everyone just fell over, they'd all survive. Like, yeah, it would have been a cool visual. It would have been a better visual if they ran back, turned around, and just as they turned around, the shield was just in front of them, you know, and they're like, we just barely escaped. That would have been a cool visual. I think that would have been a better way to direct that scene. But I'm not the director of this episode. It's James Magnus Stone. Yeah,
he's not very good.
So yeah, we cut back. We cut back to the past. With Gaz, Dan, and Peggy. They're walking down the street. And they see an angel. They're like, oh god, we gotta watch the angel. This one is very like it's bad. And then we see fucking Peggy's parents coming down the street, and they're like, Peggy, oh, Peggy,
no.
Yeah, they're like, stop, bro.
Don't go past the angel.
If you go past the angel, it will capture you. And they're like, what do you mean? And his dad walks in front, and the angel grabs the dad's jacket, and they're like, get off my jacket, which causes them both to touch the angel, and they both die.
I thought that was really stupid of them because they knew what happened before.
Yeah, they could have just taken
just take off your coat.
Like the fact that it's like because they didn't actually know what happened before. They think that the time of day just changed. Because Peggy's mother said one line. It was like, "Isn't it weird? It's just daytime now." Like they just think the time. They don't know that they were sent back in time. So I think it makes a bit more sense, but it's still a bit stupid. So yeah, this is when it's revealed by Peggy that this is a new rule for Weeping Angels, which I like. I like when they add something to the monster. You know, I think I've read before where it's like I think I read before where Moffat was like, if you use a monster, you should add something new to the monster and not just have it be what it was. Or you're not adding to Doctor Who. You're just making the same shit. Yeah, you just make it like so like. So like,
well, you say this, but Chibnall literally did do like the image of an angel is also an angel. An angel can be inside your head, and you've got like dust coming out.
He kept the rules, but added to them. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like we know that Moffat tried to do that with the Power Ranger Daleks, but then it didn't work. So he just said, we're not doing that anymore. So like he tried something, but he's like, look, at least you're trying, right? Try something, and if it fails, it fails. If it doesn't, then you got something new, and it's cool. And I like this new rule with Weeping Angels that if you're sent back in time twice, the second time you die, which makes more sense than than the rogue Weeping Angels who snap people's necks. I was like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
But like it's like because like imagine if there was that episode, but they were sent back in time twice, they're dead. So like it's like a round robin. You lose once, you can't lose again. You know, you gotta. Yeah. But then begs the question of, is there like a time? Like, does it wear off after a certain time? Because the Doctor has been sent back in time before. That happened in Blink. Right, that's the whole bit. The Doctor and Martha were sent back in time and sent messages to the future. You know, so
the
Doctor's also that's the same character.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So like it does it work? Like if it's like, oh, you can't.
Is it like a new? Is it like a different group of angels? Is it, or is it like?
That's what it would have to be established in a new episode because it's not established here. Because like if it was me, I'd be like, it has to be the same angel. you know,
Mm. Mm.
or you can't be touched by an angel again for like an Earth year. You got to get rid of like the energy around you, you know.
Or if it's like what was it? You know, if it's like a different group of angels, these ones are like division grouping angels, and so if you get touched by them twice, you're gone. And then if you get touched by them once and then touched by a different group of angels once, you're fine.
Yeah. So like they need some rules to set down and lay down for this.
Yeah.
But but I still think that's a cool rule that if you're touched twice, you're dead. I like it. This is where we get to the meat of this episode. The Doctor and the Angel are talking still. And the Doctor asks, Angel, why are the division coming for you? And they're like, because I've got information about everything and everyone in the division, including you, Doctor. And Doctor's like, the Doctor's about to ask more, but then the Doctor and the Doctor has a connection cut because Professor Jericho threw a cup at her, and it's like, hey, you got to get out of there because the fucking basement's full of angels. There was a cool visual before because they put on the lie detector helmet earlier on when they connected, so the Doctor can so the Professor can read the signatures, right, and gain the information for his research. And when it was waving about, it was waving them out to form images of angels, and that's how angels were able to get into the basement before the door broke down. And that was a cool visual. I like that. I like that a lot. So because of angels explaining the division are coming after them, they're taking them they're taking out the mind melding by the Professor throwing a cup, and the angels having the basement filled. The Doctor reveals that the exit, because there was no exits there, but there is an exit. It's a set of tunnels made by the previous owner. I was like, that's a bit lazy.
No, that wasn't too bad for me, but I hate what the Doctor said next, and I'm saying this because of the fact that she used to be a man. She said something like, "Oh, yeah, this is the time I've been most happy that a man has abused women," or something like that. Like,
oh, I get. I know. Yeah, she was like, "This is the one time I'm happy that a man is a dickhead, basically, or a man's like a bit seedy, a bit mysterious, a bit creepy."
Yeah, but come on, like, you used to be a man, like you know. Like, you know both sides of this. Like, come on.
So yeah, it's a bit on the nose of a line.
Like, remember when you were running around after Marilyn Monroe?
That is true. You were Matt Smith became a horn dog. But yeah, they take these tunnels, and it's revealed that the angels are blocking from each side of the tunnel, and there's a really cool visual of like the angel, because the walls in the tunnel are made of stone, but the images on there are angels. So the hands of angels start coming out of the stones of the walls, and it's like a panel from like a Walking Dead comic. It's really cool. It's like I was sitting there going, this is this is a really cool horror visual for Doctor Who, and if I was a child at this time, this would scare the shit out of me. I would be like, "Oh my god, they're coming from the walls!"
Right, this really is like Doctor Who is scary again. Like, Doctor Who hasn't been this scary since Songs in the Library.
Yeah, this has been.
Yeah,
this was good horror Doctor Who. This was good. But yeah, they are trapped by the angels each side. Then we cut back to Peggy, Dan, and Yaz. They find a split in time and space, and guess who comes out from the other side? It's Mrs. Hayward. Oh my god! She's been.
Who is she?
She's been following the angels the whole time, and then it's revealed that Mrs. Hayward is actually Peggy grown up. Peggy doesn't make it back to 1967 the quick way. She makes it back the long way. Peggy is Mrs. Hayward.
I did think that scene was written very much for children. It was made like it was very clear that Mrs. Hayward, like, she had like 5 lines, and it was clear from the first line that she was Peggy. But then it was only in the 5th line that she said, like, I'm Peggy. I felt like it was very slow.
As soon as you see they're wearing similar clothing, similar style, and like she's like, "Don't come towards me, Peggy," and she has an understanding of what happens. I'm like, and then she says like, she literally says, I remember that old crazy woman. I'm like, oh, you're talking about yourself from the point of view as you as a child. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And then as you said, they say more lines and go like, I'm you, Peggy. And I was like, okay, we get it.
yeah, we already know this.
So yeah, it was probably written for the younger people to understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
17-year-olds.
It's revealed that the angels left her and a few others alive because they are cruel and want someone left to tell the story, which is kind of fucked up, and I like it. I like how they like the angels are not good people. Also, the division are not good people, because this is not just the angels. This is also the division. We go back to the Doctor, Claire, and the Professor in the tunnels.
Then the Sonic isn't working for me. It's like flickering.
Yeah, which is cool.
But what was the point of it? What was the point of the torch flickering if the Doctor was just going to fix it?
Because
like it's just like there and then it's gone. It's like 2 seconds. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, true. The Doctor and the Professor, Claire is able to run away, and the Doctor and Professor are back at the back, and they're like, we're going to get the angels to look at each other, so we're going to move each opposite direction at the same time, and then pass the women angels, and then have them look at each other. They do it, but the Professor's a bit too slow, and it's a cool visual because it's like
I'm not blinking.
He's not. I'm not blinking. He gets captured, and it sends him back in time. But like it's
my eyes are watering.
It's like it cuts, and he's like, and they're just next to Dan, Yaz, and Peggy, and he's like, "Whoa, what happened? Where are we? Oh, Peggy! Oh, Professor Jericho! Ah!" And it's like, oh, Mrs. Hayward, hi. It's like, don't walk there, bro. It's like, what do you mean? Like, that's a different time. That's 1967. We're in 1901. It's like, what do you mean we're in 1901? And he's like, well,
yeah,
could have told him a lot easier. Then it comes back to the Doctor. The Doctor is like, you know what? I'm gonna run for it. If I get caught, I get caught. It's whatever.
Oh, this was the point where I realised we were 15 minutes in, looking at the time, and I said, "Damn, it's an hour-long episode."
Yeah, you meant yeah.
I don't like it when it's over 15 minutes.
we run back. So the Doctor runs, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna be faster than the Weeping Angel. Looks back. They haven't moved.
Getting me.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on? Yeah, what's the problem?
You guys having a bit of anxiety? What's going on? Are you confused? Doctor blinks on purpose. Are you not chasing after me? Anyway, it's okay. That's weird.
It's because Claire put cameras in the tunnel.
The doctor walks outside, and the Doctor's like, Claire, I've got escaped. I escaped, but for some reason the angels aren't chasing after me. The Doctor looks up,
and they're just all behind.
Just an array of angels behind the Doctor. One of them in the front is Claire. The Doctor looks behind her, and we see the other portal to 1901. It's again the same visual. This is, and I was sitting there and like, okay, Yaz, Dan, and it's like, Doctor, you're here. And I was like, what's going on? The angels are like, you haven't figured out yet, Doctor. Like, we're not gonna kill you.
We kind of enjoy like watching you trying to work it out.
Yeah, so we're not gonna tell you. We're just gonna watch you. That's why we didn't come after you. We're just gonna watch you figure it out. And then Doctor goes, okay, guys, what are you doing? It's like, we're fine. We're sent back to 1901, Doctor. Doctor, what is time? Sorry, no, Doctor. What is quantum? Fucking hell. What does quantum extraction mean?
Yeah.
And the Doctor goes, of course. They isolated the. See, this is good because the Doctor's giving us an info dump, but it's after the episodes happened, so the Doctor has had time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because if this was just, because honestly, because like this is a prime example is earlier on, like in the very first episode of this season, the Doctor comes out of the TARDIS and goes, "Oh, okay, Carvonisa's gone after the guy in this area because my son has screwed everything." Like, how did you figure it out so fast? Like this time, the Doctor's literally just sitting there going, like, because the Doctor could have just gone straight over in the very first episode and been like, "Oh, we're in an isolated point in time." Like, the Doctor actually figured it out this time, and I like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we're isolated in a point in time, away from everyone else, so the Weeping Angels can feed off this village being like gone, disappeared, right?
Yeah.
So of this village being disappeared. They are like, the Doctor's like, why are you doing this? What do you want? It's like, we want them. It's like, okay, I will make a deal with you. You let Claire go. You can have your angel, and we can all come to a standing. You know, we all make a deal. Claire informs the Doctor like, my angel says no. What? Why? Because my angel's made a better deal. What do you mean? The Division want my angel badly, but there's only one more person who the angel wants more. And the Doctor goes, who? It's you. It's like, oh my god. I actually think I actually need to go back and listen, because I think the Masters theme plays, like Sasha the One's Masters theme plays at this point.
Yeah, that's probably all I was thinking about him earlier.
I think it is. Let me actually listen to this real quick. It's slightly different. It's slightly different.
Even so, like, close enough.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's slightly different. But yeah, they're sent back in time. No, sorry, not sent back in time. Sorry, you're like, oh my god, Doctor, we want you. No. The Doctor's like, well, you can't have me. And they're like, well, Doctor, it's not your choice. Because guess what, Doctor? The Division has called. You're back. What? The cracks start turning into stone, coming towards the Doctor, feels on the Doctor's legs, the Doctor's jacket, the Doctor's hands get closer towards her face, and she becomes an angel. That's where the episode ends.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The Doctor's always been, like, this is what my note is. My note is, they call back the Doctor into the Division, turning her into a weeping angel. The question left by me is, did the Doctor always have an angel inside of her?
The thing is, for me, as interesting as it was that she's turned into an angel, I don't really care about the cliffhangers at this point, because I know that they don't really mean much.
That's what I said last episode. I didn't care for the angel taking the TARDIS cliffhanger, because I was like, it's gonna go right into, like, it's because it's a continuous story.
Yeah.
Like the way you would have because
we know the Doctor's gonna be fine by the end, so like.
Because also she has specials, and also
she's got specials. We've seen more clips in the trailer of her. Like
we got next season, series. Yeah. Like if they
Russell's coming back. So
like they should have kept all of the information about the future until after this series has ended. Yeah. Like they could have said, like, they could have had Chibnall stepping back after this series, right? And that's it. So everyone goes, it's just the end of Doctor Who, you know?
Yeah.
And that could have been the really much like, this could be the end, so they're going to kill the Doctor, they're going to do whatever. Right? That could have been the thing. And then after the series, they go like, Chibnall's going to make some specials, and then 2 Davis is coming back. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's what they should have done. Because then they could have released a trailer that doesn't have anything post this episode in it, at least from the Doctor. And so then you could think, oh, is the rest of this series just going to be like Yaz and Dan working out all the mysteries and then going back to their proper places in time? And the Doctor's just dead. It's
funny to me because not funny to me, but the episode ends and we go to the credits and I'm like, this is a good episode. I really like this. And And then I get a message from, because I was watching it a little bit delayed because I had to get a delivery, and I was also watching the order beforehand. So Crystal just messaged me going, "Watch the next episode preview." I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna stick through the credits."
Wait, were you actually at the end anyway?
I was pretty much at the end at that point. So I was like, "Okay," Crystal was like, "Watch this. What's the next episode preview?" It's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna sit and watch the credits then." And then the credits cut, like it glitches out, and it's like a post credit scene. I was like, "What?"
I knew you turned off. I knew you turned off beforehand. Like, this is why you don't do a post credit scene on TV.
Unless
just turn off.
Unless you've established that post credit scenes exist. It's why like Marvel's pretty cool with it, because they like pretty much every Marvel movie has at least one post credit scene, and they've kind of made it a staple of Marvel movies. So like they force you to look through the credits and see all the people who've worked on the film, and then watch the scene. It's kind of a smart way of like to get people to actually watch the bit.
Well, normally these days what they do is they have like the really creative bit of the credits where you've got like, you know, the actors' names appear in a cool way, and then they got the post credit scene, and then it's just like a black screen with the white names going by.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing else. Yeah.
But
that system works.
It still gives you a reason to watch the credits a little bit. But the credits cut into the post credit scene, and there's Vinda, who finds Neil. and he goes, "Have you seen this woman?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've seen her, but
I have,
not in a while, because you know the fuss is fucked with time, so time's kind of different. But she did leave you something. There's a thing in the wall. Go click on it." He clicks on it, and there's a message from Belle. Belle's like, "I know you're gonna be here, but you know me. I see people who need help, and I'm gonna go help them. So that's what's happening. I can't wait to see you. I love you, Vinda." And then he goes, "I love you too." And she goes, "Okay."
"Oh, my coordinates are."
Yeah, my coordinates are. "Oh, no. And it cuts out. And Vinda laughs because he finds it funny. Like, it's like, and I think that's pretty cool, because it's like, Vinda finds it funny because it's like,
annoyed, he's like, you know, that's
so Belle.
That's so Belle.
Just like, and I like that. It's just that they actually have like a prior relationship instead of it being like it's nice.
I did think it was a bit of a convenient time for it to turn off, though.
Yeah, well, TV. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And then the episode finishes, but the next episode preview is fucking insane, because guess who's in the next episode preview? Kate fucking Stewart. Oh my god!
I am so glad she's back, because she's the replacement for the Brigadier.
Yeah,
and the Brigadier was like with every Doctor. So like, she's got to be back.
She is the replacement, and
she's been with Matt, Peter, and now Jodie.
Yeah,
she's been with like all three since.
And I think some people hate like that Kate. Some people are like, "Oh, Kate's just a female Brigadier." Yes, that's the point.
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, I don't like her that much, but like I really like I'm invested in her character.
Yeah, and the actors invest in the character, and I feel like every time a showrunner or writer uses her character, they're invested in the character. Like, she's cool. I like Kate.
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah,
I see Kate on the screen, I'm like, that's exciting. Like, Kate's cool. And I'm hoping it means that we get Unit back.
well, we are definitely getting Unit back at some point, because there was filming for it.
Oh, okay. So maybe this was what was Unit's.
So it might be next episode, but most people are saying it's for a special, one of the specials.
We will. It
could be next episode. So like, you never know.
You will see. But I like Kate Stewart, and I think it's because we're using Kate Stewart. But I like Kate Stewart. She's cool.
Yeah. We need to watch carefully and turn the things around potentially.
We got to see if they're going to steal anything that we're planning to do, Chris. If they steal what we're planning to do.
Oh goodness! I did notice in this episode there was a line which was like they go into the endless prison or something like that.
Oh.
And I was literally thinking that's the name of like one of my friend Thary's audios.
Tom Thary's.
Yeah. Like he had an audio called "The Endless Prison," and I was in it.
Tom Thary's is. So
I was really thinking.
Is a staple in the Tom Thary's is a staple in the Doctor Who community. We should get him on a podcast eventually. Tom Thary's.
Yeah, we did get him on.
Yeah, we got him on the G3 podcast, and then the audio fucked up, and I was like, God damn it.
Did we not upload that one?
We did upload it, but the audio was so messed up in that episode. I was like, oh god damn it, we could have done a better one. And also, we talked for like 3 hours.
Yeah, we did. We talked for ages.
But yeah. I'm excited. This episode. Let's go into the ratings of this episode. I'm gonna go first, obviously. Like I always go first.
Oh, rating. I thought you meant viewing figures.
So I give this episode an 8 out of 10, just like last episode, but it's a very high 8. I'm not gonna give it a 9 because 9 episodes have to be completely different level. This isn't my favorite Doctor Who episode. Like it's as good as a normal Doctor Who episode from the last showrunners, but it's probably one of the best Chibnall episodes. So it's probably the reason why I like it so much is because compared to everything I've seen for the past like 3 years, it's really good.
Yeah.
But compared to everything I've seen since I've started watching Doctor Who, it's an average episode. So I'm giving it an 8. I like this episode. I said this before. I don't think the characters are written better this episode. I think last episode the characters were very much written better. There was a lot. The dynamic of Yaz and the Doctor was less subtle and more like confrontational, and I think that was better because it gave opportunity for the Doctor and Yaz to act. So the actors to act, Jodie and Mandip to act. Dan wasn't really used much in this episode, other than like the point of view for people.
Just there.
He was the point of view for people who've never seen a Weeping Angels episode, which makes no sense because most people who watch Doctor Who have seen a Weeping Angels episode.
And Yaz hasn't seen a Weeping Angel before, like so. Yeah, that was a bit weird.
So the character writing wasn't better, but I liked the plot a lot more. The plot was cool. The addition
was really cool.
The addition of I was worried. We said last episode I was worried that this would feel like the Sontaran episode, as in like a filler episode with a callback to an old villain. Like I thought that's what it was going to be, but no. This episode connected to the Division.
Yeah.
And it added to the mystery of who the fuck was the Doctor before the first regeneration. Who is the Roof Doctor? Who are these people? Like who is this person? And I'm interested. Yeah. So 8 out of 10. What about you, Chris?
I don't think it was quite as good as you think it is. Compared to last week, the directing is awful. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, visually, it's still really good because you've got like strong special effects. You've got like the village feels like a real lived-in village, and the house as well. That feels really lived in. Visually, it's like, if you take like a screenshot from the episode, it looks really good. But I think the directing is a lot worse. Suddenly, Jodie cannot act anymore. Mandip cannot act anymore. John cannot act anymore. Like it's been ruined. I don't think Jamie Magnus-Stone is a particularly good director. But the plot was really cool. Like, I have to admit that's one of the most one of the best, Doctor Who plots I've seen in a long time. I think probably the last one as good as this was Wild Enough in Time. Because remember when that came out, like everyone was like stunned by how good the plot for that episode was, with like the wormhole and the ship going like time dilation. This is like the closest we got to that since.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And to see, and the directing point, we'll see if that's the main reason, because next episode is no longer directed by this person. It's directed last week's episode. And that's episode, we like the direction of that quite a bit, much more. So we'll see if it's the directing, because if next episode is better and also the final episode keeps up to that good consistent basis, it most likely would be the directing is the reason behind some of the issues of Doctor Who. But
I need to give my rating.
What's your number?
Well, I need to preface this by saying I've actually changed my episode 1. I got too hung up on the cliffhanger making that video. I give that a 6. I'm just gonna say I give that a 6. I give this one a high 6.
I see.
It's better than the other, but I still, because for me a 7 is like an episode that is good but I don't like it. A 6 is an episode that isn't very good but I really enjoy it. If that makes sense.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so for me it's a high 6.
Well, that's all we can have all we can have. That's all all we can have. That's all the time we have.
That's all we have for this episode.
For this episode,
that's all we have to say at all.
That's all we have to say. It just cuts. Next week, is Survivors of the Flux, which is directed by Azure Salim, who did last week's episode, and written by Chris Chibnall. We are going to watch that. I'm very excited to see what happens. This is the pre-finale episode. Because this is a 6-episode season. So
it's already like towards the end. It's really weird. I mean, we're still halfway through, but we're at the end as well.
We've been doing this for a month.
We have.
We are also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and on Spotify. Just type in the Doctor Why Podcast, the Doctor Who After Show. Video version of this on the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Nermian. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.